You're in the Splash Zone, baby! Yeah!
Alright, what's going on, guys? My name is Fierce, and welcome to the Boss Beatdown. In this series, we go over the various bosses in the Borderlands and go over different strategies and tactics to beat these bosses no matter the playstyle. In this episode, we'll be splashing around the kiddie pool with Splashzone. Splashzone is a badass psycho enemy found at Riptide Grotto east of the abandoned tower, after you've finished the prologue. To get to Splashzone, head east from the abandoned post, climb up the wall at the base of the cave, and then continue on that path. Enemies will spawn in these areas, so you can take them out if you want, but it's not necessary. You get to the opening of Riptide Grotto, where there will be plenty of mob enemies, which you can skip by heading left and grappling to the next platform. Climb the wall, then head right to the Encore machine and ammo vendor. Splashzone is technically the second boss you fight in order, but we're going to skip the prologue in this series. Because he's an early game boss, his moveset is pretty simple. His drops are the Toric Lead Balloon Shotgun and the Concussive Jelly Grenade. Now he always spawns with the Bleeding modifier, meaning he deals and spreads an elemental dot on everything he touches, given to him at random. Before we get into the beatdown, the new Moxxi's Encore machine is a way you can just respawn any boss and their red chest without needing to save quit. If you pick up and sell the junk weapon that he drops, you'll have plenty of money to just keep going however long that you want to. Now every time he spawns in, there will be a different elemental affinity to him. Now he can spit at the player, dealing that elemental damage. When it lands on a surface or you, a puddle of that element will form on the floor, dealing elemental damage to you if you get hit or you walk on it. This dude can also just start spinning around like a Beyblade towards you. Now besides his basic attack, he has like one of these heavy slams. Now getting hit by this will knock you back and deal health gate damage. Now if you stay pretty close range with him, he'll usually respond with a heavy slam. Now to avoid this, you can just jump or dash back to get away from the blast radius. And then if you're someone like Amon or Rafa, you could dash forward and do a melee strike and keep that fight going. Splashzone's tower arena is a fairly small to mid-sized arena that's cut off from the exits. With the majority of Splashzone's arena being circular, the best strategy I've come up with to taking this boss down is to just go around in circles. As soon as he spawns, take a sharp right and take him around that circular segment of his arena, shooting his crit spot, which is his head. Now doing this will take him down really easily, no matter what skill level or difficulty you're on. And if you get hit, keep in mind the rep kit, this is your get out of jail free card, so use it wisely. Now waiting for your action skill to cool down is almost a no-brainer, but don't worry. For those who here on Fierce Chimera don't use their action skill, nor have the patience to wait like 60 seconds, we got you covered. After he does his Beyblade spin, he staggers back and doesn't attack for a few seconds. Now this is your prime time to get some good damage on him.
Enough talk. Let's fight!
Now our first method is called Ring Around the Rosie, where you take Splashzone around his inner arena, hitting his crit spot. Now the first method of doing this is just using guns. Jacob shotguns are going to be the best weapon overall to use them, but you can use elemental SMGs, ARs, pistols, rocket launchers, whatever else. Now the second method is more gravy, that's using your action skill and other tools to help you out. If you're playing Amon, you can start with your hammer slam to deal some starting damage, then move on to your red action skill doing melee damage. With Rafa, you can use your Peacebreaker cannons with the, how the hell do you say this? Instinto Augment, dealing more critical damage to make the fight go just a little bit quicker. Our second method is about bringing a knife to a gunfight. Using only the base throwing knife you get, you can deal decent damage to Splashzone, but you can do even more if you hit his critical spot. Now, of course, to get that extra damage, you have to be pretty accurate, which could be a learning curve. Your main issue with this is waiting on the cooldown, so you'll just be running around the arena, taking out his minions and avoiding Splashzone's attacks. Alright, so you're basically just running around in circles, throwing a knife at this guy repeatedly. Now, I didn't use my action skill at all, and I only used my gun on the minions. But as you can see, even with this white rarity knife, it does a respectable amount of damage. Our next strategy is all about taking the high ground, Anakin. Now, Splashzone spawns at this red ball looking thing above and to the left of the player, and you can actually get on top of this thing, and you can use that as a vantage point. Now, like I said earlier, Splashzone can spit at you, dealing element damage, but you can just move out of the way to avoid it. Now, he can also throw his hammer at you. Now, thankfully, the chains are actually solid, so you could just put those in between you and Splashzone, and the hammer will just boink, bounce right off. Now, this strategy is going to be really useful for anyone who may be a whole hissy-fissy type and can't fight a boss for nothing. Or a sniper player who was about as social as I was back in high school, so they just prefer just to stay away from the weirdos. And our final strategy is all about making stupid choices. Now, you can use melee against this melee boss. This is what we call a bad idea, but it can be done. Now, for all players, the general strat is to strike him when he isn't spinning around like a Beyblade, and then back off when he does his attack, move in, do it again. For Amon, you can either use his axes and throw them at Splashzone, or you can use his red action skill, and when you have an opening, dash forward and deal either fire or cryo damage with your punch. And for Rafa, his arc knives have a dash function, so similar to Amon, you can wait for an opening and deal some melee damage. However, using arc knives for this fight is really difficult, and I just try to jump, stay above him so I don't take any element damage from standing right in front of him. And if you're playing as Vex, you can either throw out her Trouble minion or use her Scythe minions to aid you, which is nice because you can stand further back and survive just a little bit longer. And that's going to be it for this first episode of the Boss Beatdown. If you guys enjoyed this video, hey, be sure to leave a like, and make sure to subscribe for more awesome content. Now, what are your thoughts on Borderlands 4? This game's been out for a few weeks now, so I want to hear what you think about this game. Was this guide helpful? Should I make more types of these videos? And if so, who should I cover next? Let me know down in the comments. Alright guys, I'm heading out of here. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'm going to see you all in the next one. See ya.